Here we see we've now installed the ball screws, we've got the mechanism on, we've put the riser on, we've put the brushes on. You'll notice that our brushes have a double seal here. We have brush either side, then a very soft rubber. Took us years to get this to where we want it to be, and the lip seal system works very well and allows us to keep our machines very compact. If we had bellows, we'd have to have an extra 12% space front and back. Our machines would be 25% larger. That's why our machines quite likely could be as much as 25% smaller than a competitor that doesn't use some of our lip seal technology here. What you're looking at here is quite interesting, and we do this on all our ball screws. You'll notice there's one shiny race and there's a race full of lubrication. What this means is that the bearings inside the nut there are only positioned inside one of the races. In other words, should we reach a position where maybe after 10 years you've been running up and down on the same section and you start to get a little bit of extra wear, you have double the life on this ball screw with a WARDJet, because we literally can take the bearing, move the balls so that they fit into the second race, and you effectively have a brand new ball screw. That's standard on all three ball screws on our machine. We've made it very easy to adjust the tension and change the belt. What you see are two tensioning little systems here that allows us to get everything right, and again it's modular. So that same procedure is used on our Y and on the other side. So very easy to make a change if you ever should, or adjust the tension if you ever should. That should not be something you do very often. But in the event of it, we've made it easy to service. Okay, let's look at the difference between your Z carriages, what we call the master, and a slave. On the master, well, firstly you'll notice they're exactly the same. They're modular. So this Z carriage is the same as this Z carriage. It's just this one doesn't have any of this stuff on it. It doesn't have anything underneath it. It doesn't have anything on top of it. That means there's nothing stopping you from putting all of this over here and all of this over here, and suddenly being able to drive your second or your third Z carriage in the Y direction. We have some customers who will do that because they'll want to actually start doing mirror image cutting. And it's very easy to do. We can come and we can even retrofit a machine to make that happen. When looking at this particular, the master, you'll see that we have extremely heavy duty aluminum block here. The nut, the way that the cables are held in position, the way they fed through, the tensioning system, just like you saw around the side there. Everything's neat, everything's held down. Chance of failure on anything coming loose, extremely minimal. Now when it comes to the second Z carriage, if you are going to position them, you'll notice that we have this little clamp here, and what happens is you put a rod through, and that rod would connect to here, tighten it down, and now you can easily slide and adjust, because as soon as you clamp it together, they will move together. Looking at the bearings, there's a bearing there, there's a bearing here, there's two more at the bottom. They are the same bearings that you saw on the risers. Inside the Z carriage, there are another 4 bearings. So we have 8 1,000 kilogram rated bearings on every Z carriage, including covers to actually clean anything off if anything did get on there. We have our limit switch. You can see there's nothing light about this. That would be your limit switch trigger. In this particular case, this machine has a camera. So this is feeding the information from the camera back up, so we can use it as a scope going down. And you'll see something else that we do fairly unique. Here is a carbon fiber rod, double mounted. There's the one, and there's another one over here. So on all WARDJet machines, we not only run the whips, but we run a carbon fiber rod through on both ends, and that gives us tremendous stability, takes out vibration if your machine is going fast backwards and forwards. You will see we have dog legs on all our high pressure tubing, something that you do not always see, and what that means is that we do not have to have swivels and we do not have torque going into the thread, which could result in these coming loose. So the chance of leaks or anything is minimal. Something else unique to WARDJet is the shielding. Any other WaterJet you ever go and have a look at, see how much shielding they have. We have shielding throughout our entire system. We think it's a safe thing to do, and regardless of even if it's up in the sky or it's not, we think it's important. When you've got your double whips coming down, dog-legged back to a T, our high pressure tubing from the pump literally connects in here. The rest of the machine's already plumbed. There's your quick connect for your air. Here are your abrasive lines. Here is your power. You'll see that we then run the double whips through, and if you can have a look underneath here, you'll see we dog-leg these back again, and from there we go out on a 3/8 line, so that again we get minimal pressure loss. Now if you had more cutting heads, we can go to 9/16, so we'll go to multiple 3/8, but again, key feature, and remember, this entire machine, everything that you see, is going to be shipped exactly as you see it. These machines are shipped 100% fully assembled, fully tested, ball barred, mapped, in every possible way. It's a case of putting it down on your floor, checking that it's level, and we're typically there on a Monday. People are often in motion by sometimes even Monday afternoon, Tuesday. Start the training, and you should be in full production by Friday. It's because this is what you get. It's already in this state when your machine arrives.